Hi, I'm Lebo Tshangela, and this is the 12th edition of the series Frontline Workers, where we talk to courageous essential workers who daily risk their lives to provide important services to the general public. Since the South African government eased lockdown, which came into effect on March 27 from level 5 to level 3, more businesses and industries have opened outside of those that provide essential services. The decision was partly informed by the need to open up the extremely strained economy, while introducing regulations that will enforce compliance with government's aim to curb the spread of coronavirus. Subject to these measures, sectors such as mining commenced from the beginning of the month. Mining employs 457,000 people in more than 1,700 mines in South Africa and contributes to 351 billion rand to the gross domestic product. Coming up in this edition of Frontline Workers.
They posted a message to each and every person at work that they have found one person whom has corona. I fear corona because I believe it is real. It's real due to the mere fact that the whole world took a standstill. I've lost income because we weren't paid our full salary. There was a point in time whereby we got paid 30%.
A mine worker from the Free State who has chosen to remain anonymous tells me what he goes through as a frontline worker. He has been working as a development team laborer for 3 years. Under level 5, only collieries that supply Eskom and all refineries were allowed to operate at full capacity. Anonymous says only essential workers were allowed to work at the mine he's employed at.
Under level 5, yes, there were people that were working, especially the services people. People are making sure that everything is running smoothly underground, electricity, pompies, all the things that are very, very essential that make the mine to work.
In April, authorities relaxed regulations to allow mines to operate at 50% capacity after miners lobbied government to allow them to resume production with controls in place to detect and contain COVID-19. On June 1, when lockdown level 3 kicked in, all deep mining operations ramped up to full capacity. Anonymous was called to return to work under level 3.
At first, I was scared because we don't know like corona. They say it's symptoms of flu, but I felt a bit happy. Not everyone returned to work. Apparently, the people who come from Bloemfontein are being quarantined. There's a place where they are quarantined for 14 days. And people from Eastern Cape as well, the company must make a plan. Apparently they're making a plan to go face them, take them to a place of quarantine, and people and foreign nationals who are living like outside of the country, they haven't came back to work yet. And at this moment, we don't know when they are coming.
In May, government published new proposed safety guidelines for mines operating during the coronavirus lockdown period. Miners must be screened, tested, kept further apart, and provided with protective gear. The mine Anonymous works for seems to be complying with level 3 guidelines.
In terms of the whole COVID-19, at work they took it very, very seriously. When they first called me, they screened me, checked my temperature. And they asked me, have I been out of town? I told them no. And checked my high blood pressure. And the thing that I like is the fact that they checked our temperature 3 times. Each and every, like when you enter the gate, after getting the permit, when you enter the gate, they check your temperature. When you reach the medical hub, they check your temperature as well. And when you meet up with another person who's going to help you in order to make sure that you'll be ready to go to work tomorrow, they take your temperature as well. And secondly is the fact that when we enter, social distancing has been implemented, and they give us masks and sanitizers as well. And there's a camera whereby after standing, there's a queue that you stand in order to get inside the work premises. There's a camera there that searches your temperature. If it happens, maybe your temperature is high, it makes a sound. There's a sound that it makes in order to inform the security people, the security guards, that no, there is this gentleman over here, his temperature, him or her temperature is very high. And after like clocking, the securities waiting and sanitizing us. Each and everywhere we go, they sanitize. Even underground, there's sanitizers. They even give us our own sanitizers when we're working. And then you come across maybe something that someone was holding, you take it out, you sanitize it.
What sort of personal protective equipment do you guys have?
We have masks in order to cover our face and in order to cover our nose and mouth. We have sanitizers. And we have gloves in order when you are climbing into the cage, you wear your gloves in order to prevent yourself from touching maybe something that maybe a person who has corona or is about to have those symptoms.
And are they enough?
At this moment, yeah, they are enough, more than enough.
Is it comfortable working with those PPEs?
Especially in the stopping area, it's not comfortable. You can't work wearing a mask because, let me just make an example. Where I work, it's very hot. So when you're working in a very hot place, and then you cover your nose and your mouth, you find it hard to breathe due to the mere fact that the humidity that side is not the same as like working surface work.
Anonymous tells us how the working environment has changed.
The differences at work is the mere fact that they extended our time to clock in, and the mere fact that there's more lines. The fact that there's more lines, apparently social distancing makes us a bit hard in order to go to underground. Even knocking off as well has become hard because of the fact that you knock off late and social distancing, and the fact that they decrease the amount of people entering inside the catch. So like it's something that I'm not used to, but at this moment I'm getting the thick of things when it comes to such.
The South African Federation of Trade Unions says the mining industry has not implemented adequate measures to help slow down the spread of coronavirus, as there are currently 750 confirmed cases at various mines countrywide. In the Northern Cape, 43 mine workers at Lebo mine near Potchefstroom tested positive for coronavirus. Limpopo is reeling after 13 mine workers from the Marula Platinum mine outside Burgersfort tested positive for the virus, and at least one miner has been confirmed to be COVID-19 positive at Cecil's Shondoni mine. Anonymous says there's a case at his work.
They posted a message to each and every person at work that they have found one person whom has corona. And that person, the people whom they came contact with at work and at home, have been taken to a place of quarantine in order to check if they have corona or not. We are fearing that, especially in the change houses, due to the mere fact that the change house is small and has a lot of people. I fear corona because I believe it is real. It's real due to the mere fact that the whole world took a standstill. At this moment, my family, I feel like they are relaxed at this moment due to the mere fact that we haven't heard a lot of cases of people having corona.
The Mineral Council of South Africa is concerned about job losses in the mining sector. The council says if mining companies do not operate, workers would lose jobs. Unions, however, have raised alarm bells about the number of retrenchment notices by mining companies. Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe says no mine will be allowed to retrench workers, citing the national lockdown as a reason. Anonymous lost income due to the fact that mines were shut.
It was very hard at first because of the fact that we are used to working overtimes and overtimes to get more money and to supply our families and pay our debts as well. So during that time, we didn't get a full salary, so we had to freeze some of our loans and such. But it was extremely hard. We're not used to such. I've lost income because we weren't paid our full salary. There was a point in time whereby we got paid 30%, so I've lost a lot of income. At this moment, I haven't heard about anybody who has lost their jobs at the mine, because our company made sure that nobody is getting retrenched or fired.
For the next edition of Frontline Workers, you can visit sabcnews.com or at SABC News on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. For SABC Digital News, I'm Lebo Tshangela.